Hi class, I wanted to spend a few minutes going over your assignments for this week. You can see that there are 4 different assignments. 2 of them are activities. The activities will actually hold your hand basically as you go through the assignments. They are step by step. So for this first one, PMT FV Activity, you're going to see that there's a PDF file in MyMTI for you to be able to use. It's 5 pages, it's really brief. It is going to go through the payment function and the future value function for you. So you can read through the information and then you can see you'll have activity 5A, it's called RP reports, and you'll just follow it step by step. And then there's also RP invest, which is activity 5B, and again you'll just follow that step by step. If I pull up the spreadsheet, you have a tab for RP reports, you have a tab for RP invest. So I just wanted to point that out to you. What I want to do is I want to take a few minutes just to show you how these functions work. So a function, as we know, is a formula, but it uses a function word that stores all of the components of the calculation so that all I have to do is enter the cell names for the formula to work. And so we're going to use what's called the FX or insert function feature, which is right next to the formula bar. So if I click on FX and I want to know what formula to use, future value and payment are considered to be financial functions. So I could go to this category area, click the drop down, click on financial, and then I could scroll through until I find the payment formula. I could also go into the search box and type PMT and click Go, and it will take me to the recommended. So PMT says it calculates the payment for a loan based on a constant payment and constant interest rates. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK to be able to use that function. I want to purchase a car. I can see what the sale price is. I see what the interest rate is. The term, this one is in months, this one is in years, so we're going to talk about the difference. The monthly payment, the total loan amount to repay, and the total interest that we're going to pay or repay. So these 2 cells or columns you may not have in your activity that you're going to do, but it may be part of your assignment. So I want to make sure that I cover those. So notice as soon as I clicked on the PMT and the arguments box appeared, Excel starts to write the formula for me. So it starts out equals PMT and it wants, what is my interest rate? The nice thing about the function arguments dialog box is it tells me what the interest rate is, because do I know what rate is? Do I know what NPER means or PV? This will help me understand that. So the rate is the interest rate per period for the loan. So we say that we're going to take out basically a 3-year loan. It's 12 months times 3 years is 36 months. So we're going to be making monthly payments. So I'm going to put the interest rate is in cell C2. So I'm going to take C2 and place that in there. But what I need to do is I have to divide that interest rate by 12 because I'm making monthly payments. Now you can see down here, if you were making quarterly payments, you would divide it by 4. If you were making biannual payments, you would divide it by 2. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're working with the payment function, is if it's not that they don't divide it by 12 or they don't divide it by the period for the loan. Next, I'm going to click on NPER. This is the total number of payments that I'm going to make. Well, the total number of payments is found in cell D2. So again, I'm going to type D2 in that box. Remember, you guys have to use cell names, not values. So I didn't type 36 in here for the NPER. The present value is what the sale price is, what the price of the item is, what the loan amount is. So the PV is the present value that I'm going to have to pay back. It's its value now. So that's found in cell B2. I want you to notice when I type B2 in there and I go click in another cell, it's giving me a negative value. Well, I can't make a negative payment toward a loan. The loan is a negative balance. It's negative cash flow for me. I have to make a payment out of my checking account or savings account. That's in my favor. So I have to make a positive payment toward a negative balance. So in order to do that, I have to put the negative sign in front of the B2 in order for the formula to work. Now this tells me I'm going to pay back roughly $342.09 a month. So I will click OK, and it puts that formula in there for me. The total loan amount to repay. So what am I going to pay back? I'm going to be paying back more than $11,500 because I have a 4.5% interest rate. So to calculate the amount I'm going to repay, I'm going to do equals, and I'm going to take my monthly payment, which is in cell E2, and I'm going to multiply that by the term or the number of months. So I'm going to multiply that by D2. So I'm going to pay back $12,315.23. So how much of that is interest? How do I calculate the interest? Well, I simply do my equal sign, and I'm going to take cell F2 and I'm going to subtract from that cell B2. I'm going to subtract the sale price or the amount of the loan from what I'm going to pay back. So I'm going to pay back $815.23 in interest. Now the formula down here is going to work basically the same way. This just says it's 4 years, and we can work with that in the payment formula. What I have to do is go to Insert Function, go ahead and click on Payment. We're going to follow the same process. So we're going to say that the interest rate is in cell C7, and we're going to divide that by 12 because we're making monthly payments. Then we get to the NPER. The total number of payments, it tells me it's 4 years. So what I have to do is take cell E7 and I have to multiply that by 12. So take cell E7 and we're going to multiply that by 12. And then, did I do E7? Oh, I'm sorry, D7. I wondered why there was a 0 there. D7 times 12, which is giving me then the 48 months, and the formula can work with that. And then the present value is still in cell B7. Remember, you have to put a negative sign in front of that because you're working with your cash flow. So in this instance, I'm going to pay back $262.24. Again, my formula to figure the total amount I'm going to repay, I'm going to take cell E7 and I'm going to multiply it times D7. And then what's my interest? Oh, that is not correct. Sorry. E7 times D7 times 12. I forgot to multiply that by 12 because we are making, this is only in years. D7 is only in years. We have to make it in months. And so then what am I going to pay back? I'm going to do equals F7 subtract B7, and that tells me what I'm going to pay back. So that is working with the payment function. The next function that I want to show you is the future value function. And so we have this future value of investment. We can see that we're paying 4.5% interest rate. So it's making 4.5% on the money that we're investing. We're going to do it over 48 months, and we can see that we are investing $750 per month, and it's in parentheses, which tells us it's a negative number. And so that's important for us when we get to figure the future value as to how we set up that formula. So I'm going to go back to the Insert Function button, and I'm going to search for FV. It's also a financial function. And I'm going to go ahead and choose OK. And so for the interest rate, we are going to take cell B2, and again we will divide it by 12. We are going to take the number of payments is in cell B3, and then we are going to go ahead and enter the payment amount, not the amount but the cell name is in cell B4. And you'll notice that we are going to not use a negative symbol in front of it because it's already in the negative format. So we're taking money out of our checking or savings. We don't even see it. It's coming out of our paycheck, whatever, and we're investing it for 48 months to try to make our money grow. And so it's telling us that we're going to have an amount of about $39,362.88. So that's one nice thing about being able to use the function arguments or the insert function button, is because you can see what your result is going to be and if you're close. So I did have a student say to me, well, what does the $39,362.88 tell me? How do I know if that's really beneficial to me? I'm just going to click in this cell for you, and I'm going to type equals, and we're going to take cell B3, which is the number of months, and I'm going to multiply that by the cell B4 and enter, and it comes up with a negative 36,000, just to give you a ballpark. So basically what you're doing is roughly $2,600 that you would have that you wouldn't have had otherwise by doing the investment. So that kind of gives you an idea over the course of 4 years how that's beneficial to you. So I just wanted to do that quick video so that you guys had an understanding of how to work with the payment formula and also how to work with the future value formula.